Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mac with another episode of On the Road Again. Guess what I'm doing? Driving again to work. And today's question is, what camera gear and what editing software do you use for your videos for YouTube? And this is something I never get to talk about, so I'm really excited because I think I love working with video and editing almost about as much as I like shooting. So for a lot of the high quality footage that I like to shoot in order to get really good looking video, I use a Canon T3i, or also called a 600D overseas. It's a really great camera. It's a couple of generations old by now. Canon actually I think is up to a 7 series. It's not a top of the line full frame DSLR, but it's a compact DSLR and it works just as well. The good features of this camera is that it has a reciprocating screen that you can pop out and move in many different directions. It also takes very good video. It has a very good audio processor inside the camera as well, even though I don't use it most of the time. So yeah, I usually use that with either a 50mm or what they call a nifty 50 lens, 1.8 aperture for really good looking video, or just a standard kit lens, 18 to 55 that came with the camera. And that's what I try to do most of my shooting on. I also shoot on my iPhone 5S a lot, which is what I'm doing right now. Takes remarkably good footage in a cell phone, basically. I also, for my first person stuff, when I'm in competition, I use a contour ROM. I've contemplated many times about getting a GoPro, but I just honestly hadn't had the money to do it. The contour works and I don't use it that often, so I've just continued using it. It takes 1080p video, so I don't know how much of an upgrade I would be getting by getting a GoPro anyway. And then I really don't use this much anymore, but when I first started YouTube, I actually used a Canon Vixia 10F, I think was the model number, handheld camcorder. I still have it, but I honestly don't use it that much anymore. Now for audio, about a year ago, picked up actually a handheld audio monitor to do the audio for my videos. And although I'm not using it now, it is a Zoom H1. It takes a micro SD card, has a really great built-in microphone, and it just sounds a million times better than onboard camera audio. So I use that a lot of time, and then I splice the audio and video later in post. Now for actual software for editing, for about the past 4 years I've been using Sony Vegas. I've gotten pretty proficient with using it. It's got a fair amount of built-in plugins that work really well. It's got a couple of good, I use the sharpening tool a lot, it's really good. I also use it for green screen things. It's got a very good tool that's good for that. But actually I've been having some issues with it lately. It's been crashing a lot on me lately. I don't know if I need to upgrade or if it's time for me to do some computer work, but actually the past few videos I've been doing in iMovie on my MacBook, and you get some really good looking video. It doesn't have nearly the amount of built-in features that Sony Vegas does, but you can still make a really good looking video. So at least at this point, those are the two that I'm using. iMovie has really good color correction built into it, and it also has some built-in After Effects for video, like vignetting and things like that I typically use, but I have to sort of hand make it in Sony Vegas because there's not a standard plug-in for vignetting. I get that in iMovie, which is one reason I like it. In Sony Vegas, I really don't like the color correction very much in that one, so I usually use Adobe Lightroom for color correction on my PC. So yeah, those are the software programs and the actual gear that I use. I try to use a tripod as much as possible, especially because I am my own cameraman. It'd be nice if I had a crew or a friend or a relative or somebody that could follow me around with a camera, especially because might could invest in some cooler stuff like stabilizers and maybe a gimbal. But as of right now, I'm my own cameraman, so the one-man camera crew does the best that it can. So yeah, that's the answer. That's what gear and software I'm using right now. One day, if I get some funds to upgrade, there's a good chance I might start using something like Adobe Premiere Pro, because my brother-in-law uses that, and it's very, very impressive. It's just very expensive as well. So once again, this is Mac. I hope you like this video. If you're thinking about getting into YouTube, or you're a shooter who wants to make your videos look a little bit better, those are just some of the things that I use, and they're pretty budget friendly as well, because I haven't honestly spent a whole lot of money on any of that stuff. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up and give me a like rating, and join me again next time for another episode of On the Road Again. This is Mac. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.